If you ask a Minecraft griefer what their favorite item is, they'll probably have more than a few answers for you. For some, it's lava. For others, it's TNT. Depending on how well you know the game, it can even be end crystals. No matter how you like to destroy the world around you, there's definitely more than a few ways that you can do it. If you ask me though, there's no better item to destroy a treehouse with than a flint and steel. Barbaric? Yes. Old school? Yes. Does it get the job done though? More than enough. Would you live in a wooden Minecraft house with this? Or better yet, would you feel safe doing it at all? Well, as it turns out, this can be completely safe if you know exactly what you're doing, that is. In this video, we're going to talk about one of Minecraft's most classic items, fire, and how to safely use it just like this. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So let's get the simple stuff out of the way. Simply put, fire is pretty interesting. For those of you who aren't entirely aware of fire's existing mechanics, let's go through them pretty quickly. Fire, as you would expect, burns a lot. Obviously, it'll damage a player who runs through it, but it does way more than that. If you die in a fire, there's the potential that you'll lose your items if blocks are set ablaze nearby you. The same way as falling into lava, you'll lose some of your items if they just so happen to fall into the specific block or touch the flame itself. Not enough? If you light a mob like a cow on fire and then the fire kills the cow, its dropped food will be cooked. The same goes for mobs like pigs, chicken, and sheep as well. Surprisingly, this even works on fish. But that's not all. Are you sick and tired of creepers running amok on your world? Do you want to be in control of when they blow up? Well, run up to a creeper, use a flint and steel on them, and bam! You've ignited your own creeper. It's like your own walking, hissing TNT. Relating to the creeper though, primarily through the relation of gunpowder, is the fire charge. This extremely underappreciated item has a few various uses, including being able to be used as ammunition for dispensers or even as a substitute for flint and steels. Want to burn a house down and immediately get rid of the evidence? Then use the dispenser method. Stuck in the nether because a ghast destroyed your portal? Find some blazes and get some blaze powder. Find a wither skeleton and get some coal. Kill a ghast and get some gunpowder, and boom, you're out of there once you find your portal, if you don't find a flint and steel inside of a nether fortress first. Another interesting thing relating to creepers is lightning. While usually pretty harmless when it rains, it can still cause a lot of damage. Lightning strikes will immediately set fire to the blocks around it, and if the rain doesn't put it out, you can probably kiss your build goodbye. Lava, just like lightning, will also set fire to blocks nearby, which we'll be getting into in greater detail in a little bit. But lava is a pain, being able to rip through an entire woodland mansion in minutes if the spawn area is so unfortunate enough. Once a fire starts, it's nearly impossible to tame given a big enough surface area to burn, but there are a few ways. 1. Literally punching it. 2. Water buckets. 3. Splash and lingering water bottles, and 4. Straight up rain. A way to avoid all of this, of course, is by altering the game rule do fire tick and setting it to false. Disabling it will stop fire from spreading whatsoever. Regardless though, obviously blocks such as wood burn extremely quickly and spread very, very fast. Blocks that don't spread though are Netherrack. Being used as an everlasting flame block, Netherrack does a great job of holding a flame for an extremely long time. Netherrack holds it so well that it actually can't be put out by rain, but it can be put out by water bottles. Interestingly enough though, many fans of Minecraft think that this is where this mechanic stops, but actually, magma blocks can also hold a flame without ever losing it. A block that many wouldn't think flammable at a first glance, but it does definitely make sense after you start to think about it, are coal blocks. Coal blocks burn quickly. While most certainly a nice decorating block, it may just be the end of your build if you put it in the wrong place, and it can almost do as much damage, if not more, than wood. The more you know. And the more you know, most definitely. While a lot of those things may be obvious to longtime fans of the game, and while some of them may have caught you off guard, like coal blocks being able to spread fire, and magma blocks being able to hold a flame like Netherrack, now here comes the more interesting trivia that you probably didn't expect. Depending on the difficulty in which you're playing Minecraft, fire spread will ramp up in speed the more difficult you go. Peaceful will still spread fire, while much less significant than hard mode. Hard mode is almost impossible to deal with, but if you're on fast on peaceful mode, you can put out a fire basically before it even starts. What you more than likely didn't know, though, is that fire spread is actually dependent on the biome that you're in as well. Fire spread, to put it simply, is reduced by a huge margin if the blocks that can catch fire are located in what Minecraft deems as a humid biome. These biomes range in everything from swamps to mushroom islands and jungles, with all of their respective variants, excluding the jungle edge as listed by the Minecraft wiki. While fires will still spread in these locations regardless, it's much less quick. More moisture would obviously make the fire harder to burn, so there's a surprising amount of realism here. Go to a savanna, desert, or mesa biome and you'll see builds burn quicker than you will in the biomes I mentioned before. You didn't think Minecraft had that much science in it, did you? Another interesting fact comes from 1.14's most recent edition of campfires. While they aren't seemingly burning anything down just yet, you can ignite them in some fairly interesting ways. In the Bedrock edition of the game, if you have an item with a fire aspect like a sword, you can use the item on the campfire and just ignite it. If you've caught fire, you can also run over the campfire and it'll just light up. If you place the block next to a burning block, that will also light the campfire. You can also dispense a fire charge in Bedrock Edition, and in Java, you can dispense a flint and steel as well. In Java, you can also shoot the fire with a burning arrow and just ignite the campfire that way. If the last one made you think that you then might be able to ignite a nether portal using this technique though, you would sadly be mistaken. While I'd love to see all of the previous lighting methods that I just mentioned for the Bedrock edition of the game introduced into campfires in the Java edition of the game, I definitely think they're pretty cool regardless, and I didn't know about them until only recently. Although, and I won't go into crazy detail, because of the way that dispensers with water buckets and flint and steels can extinguish and then light campfires, they can actually be used in redstone creations such as memory cells for those specific reasons. Once again, the more you know. And back to the clip I showed you at the beginning of the video. Does this look safe to you? If you look at it long enough, especially if this was a part of a build of yours, you could probably feel your skin crawling a little bit, or you'll definitely feel at least a little bit uneasy. I mean, look at it. It's just begging to be burned down, right? Right? Well, actually, this is the best example of a safe way to use fire in a build with wood. Fire is weird, like really weird, but knowing the best way to prevent it from spreading is pretty simple. While yes, there is an entire age system for fire, that's not what we're talking about. What we're actually talking about is this. How is this possible? One word. Distance. A great example of this comes directly from the Minecraft wiki, where it states, fire will spread over flammable surfaces. Fire can build up walls, across floors and ceilings, and over small gaps. More precisely, a fire block can turn any air block that is adjacent to a flammable block into a fire block. This can happen at a distance of up to 1 block downwards, 1 block sideways, including diagonals, and 4 block upwards of the original fire block, not the block that the fire is on or next to. So, as it goes on to explain, if you're wanting to build a fireplace, you'll need a lot of caution within your wooden house. If you try to protect your roof with cobblestone, but it falls within that 4 blocks upwards rule, it can still burn your house down. The fire can travel through the air and the cobblestone to get to the wood above it. The shape shown here is the optimal example of how to utilize Netherrack in your build when creating a fireplace. But obviously, the safest bet is to just entirely surround it in stone. While you'll definitely need to practice and pay attention to your measurements, you'll certainly figure it out. While there's more I'd love to get into about fire, and trust me, there definitely is more, I think that just about does it for now. But what do you think? Did you know all of these facts about fire? Were there any that you didn't know? Did you know about the humidity part? Because that one surprised me the most. Let me know in the comments section down below. But other than that, that just about does it for me for now. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like on it, because it would really help out myself and Michaelmcchill, who co-wrote and edited this video, the channel, and the video quite a lot. But anyways guys, I hope you all enjoyed. My name is AntVenom, and I bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.